Today I'm happy to have Joe and Divij Hemrajani with me here in the office, two of my favorite tailors and close personal friends. I'm Kirby Allison, and I love helping the well-dressed acquire and care for their wardrobes. Join me as we explore the world of quality, craftsmanship, and tradition. Gentlemen, hey, thank you so much for coming to Dallas.
Here. Great to be here.
Yeah. And, so I was thinking, everyone knows that, gosh, I've known you, Joe, for as long as I've been, really in this business and dressing well and into clothing. I mean, you were my first shirt maker. You've done an incredible amount of suits for me, what I'm wearing today. And of course, I've gotten to know Divij as he's kind of gotten in the business. And I thought this would be just a fun opportunity for us to sit down as kind of part of our traditions series, talking about how father and sons, working the business together is, a really special, tradition, especially in kind of the bespoke world that is so oral. It's always been passed down from father to son.
Yeah, it's always been an oral tradition. I mean, you can't write a book, you can't write memos, you can't,
Well, and especially, because it's an oral tradition, I mean, it's this father-son tradition that I feel like has allowed, the craft to really perfect itself. Because, I mean, you've been in this, for 40 plus years. You've got this entire body of knowledge that is just in you. I mean, It's like, you couldn't get it out onto a book even if you tried.
Right.
And so to pass that on to your son and have Divij really kind of stand on your shoulders and really carry, that tradition forward is really pretty amazing.
Yeah, he not only carried forward and, add his own ideas to that. And he's been doing that very well. And he has a great following, and he'll go on in that direction. I mean, he wants to be a full bespoke house. He wants to take the tradition of the Neapolitan tailor, the Savile tailor, the same kind of workmanship, the cutting, and just bring it to his organization to just have a really nice garment that a flexible tailor that can make any look, have no house look, can make any look, any garment. And it's been excellent at that.
Yeah. Well, of course, I mean, I've always thought of, for the longest time, you as one of my primary shirt makers. But I mean, you guys have made significant inroads into bespoke tailoring. I mean, this double-breasted suit that I'm wearing today is really fantastic. And so is that kind of an indication of really kind of the direction forward for you guys?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he'll tell you how it's going for him. I mean, how he's picked up new stuff. And now that he'll be traveling more and more overseas and going to, Italy and London to study under different places and get more experience. So it won't be just the Hong Kong tradition or the Chinese, the Shanghainese workmanship or anything. It'll be more a world-class tailoring. So you learn from every master.
I've been lucky enough to sit and learn under my father for so many years and kind of pick up his eye for things.
I mean, amazing. I mean, so passionate and knowledgeable. It taught me so much of what I know.
Right. Attention to detail is, I think, very important in this business and making clothing, especially when you can see something that somebody can't see on themselves or seeing how somebody would like to see themselves.
Yeah. Did you ever think that your son, or you've got two sons, I mean, did you ever think they'd be in the business, or one of them?
Oh, he's always had an eye. He's always loved clothing. I mean, he was very particular. I mean, very little of my hand-me-downs went to him. So he likes his own new stuff, new shoes, new...
I think it always stems from, when you go to school and you lay your clothes out for the next day. I think as a young kid, it's always been something I've admired, to dress well, look presentable, and kind of look and feel your best on a daily basis.
Yeah, well, I try to do that with my son, and you guys have helped me so much because, Nathaniel's uniform, you guys are essentially making for him.
Yeah.
His shirts, and it's really special to be able to kind of bring your children, and especially a son, kind of into that umbrella of what, we as parents and fathers are passionate about.
Yeah, he still presses his own shirts in the morning, and he presses it for me, which is great,
Yeah, that's right. You've earned that.
And so he knows he's got what it takes.
Yeah. Is there anything that you remember as kind of a young child of kind of your father's little practices That did he lay his clothing out every day, or I mean?
I used to see him walk out the door always dressed, and looked up to that. I wouldn't see him till the end of the day, but I think just seeing someone so formally put together, you always wonder, hey, what's that guy doing? What's he up to? And then when I actually started joining the business and started wearing suits, that's when I really kind of gained the passion for this business. Mm-hmm. Is when you start to experience things like yourself, when you try different outfits, experience these different styles. That's what really, you kind of get this sense of satisfaction.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we started filming more videos, I started wearing suits more regularly because we wouldn't know if we'd be filming that day or not, so I kind of always needed to be in a suit and tie. And it takes about a few weeks, to really acclimate to being comfortable wearing a suit every day. But now that I do it, it's so much of a part of my identity that I'm very rarely not in a suit. And I see Nathaniel kind of how he looks up to me and how he sees me relative to kind of other parents. And, especially this day and age where most people aren't dressing formally, it's really kind of something special that I share and that I do for him to say, it's not like, this is how I dress.
No, it's great. I see that. I mean, and I'm looking forward to making his shorts and his pants.
We've got some shorts coming.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. So what's the next step? I mean, Joe, you've been doing this for such a long time, and are you speeding up, slowing down? I mean, I know Divij is, really traveling with you more often, and
and I'm the support guy for him. I mean, he has his own vision of going fully bespoke, more so on the bespoke side, giving proper fittings and getting that refined look.
Yeah.
I mean, don't let anything go till it's just perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the attitude he's taken, and which is good.
So, my tailor, what you've been doing under my tailor has been going on for, it was Hemrajani's brothers before that.
Yeah.
40, 50 years at least?
I think it's since 1998, so it's been about...
Oh, really? Okay.
So I think...
But Hemrajani brothers was before that,
Before,
right?
a lot before that, yeah.
And so, your family was, of course, in this business, your father.
Yeah, my brothers, yeah.
Your brothers, and under Hemrajani brothers, and then you kind of broke out and did mytailor.com.
Right.
Which was the first really online shirt company.
Yes.
Back whenever, 1998, shoot, the internet was
that's
like
right.
brand new.
Right.
And then, so Divij, what's next for you? How do you kind of carry that tradition forward?
I'm very excited to announce here that I've launched Divij.com.
Really? Okay.
Divij Bespoke, focusing on fully handmade patterns through shirts and a fully handmade suits with a basted fitting. So I'm excited to continue the process of the tradition here.
Well, I know that, especially with what we've done, I know that you've really enjoyed kind of adding that element of, true basted fittings into the process and really kind of striving towards the same, the true bespoke experience, really, right?
Correct. Yeah, I think it's very important, especially for in the custom, to get a real fit with fittings is the perfect way to go.
Yeah. And with shirts, you can do that kind of through your first shirt. It's kind of like that fitting garment.
Yeah.
And then, once you nail your shirt, you really don't have to modify that pattern much. But with suiting and tailoring, it's really been necessary to do those fittings even with each garment.
Right. Each garment has different fabric, so the fittings can be important. Even final fitting sometimes is required from garment to garment. And I think it's important to see how the fabric drapes on the person's body before the garment's completed.
Yeah, and I know, Joe, one of the things that was really innovative about kind of the way that you scaled your business was the introduction of these digital CAD systems to digitize the patterns. Will Divij.com, will it kind of be that same level of digitization?
We'll focus more on a handmade pattern. We'll still offer some of the same services that my father's previously offered with his company. But I think Divij Bespoke will focus on the fully handmade pattern drafted from scratch.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of exciting. It's kind of interesting to think about how, you had the digitization really kind of allow, for kind of a larger scaling and expansion, but then to see it kind of rebound back to, those traditions of kind of quality craftsmanship and tradition of doing it in a really analog way.
More thought. goes into the making the pattern. And you get that shape for each individual, whether it's, then making it from a block.
Yeah.
For some customers, if the standard size, close to standard size is okay. But once you deviate from that, it becomes, you have to bring the master in. So
Yeah.
you might as well start in the
Start
scratch,
there.
Start there.
Yeah.
Each
So,
body figure is different.
yeah.
Yeah.
And once you get into the lower price, then you say, oh, I can't. If you want this, you want this. The difference in prices wasn't that much, and it's better to go the full
Yeah,
scale,
to just go all the way.
all the way.
Right, because I mean,
And that's what he always says. Why are you doing this? Just
Yeah. that's funny. I mean, because I mean, the full bespoke garment, like what I'm wearing today, I mean, it's $1,800. It's an incredible price considering this
Yeah.
from Savile Row would be, $6,000 or $8,000.
Right.
But then, the digital kind of non-based fitting pieces you were doing were still,
Very close. It's not. Yeah.
$1,000, $1,200.
Right.
So for not much money, I mean, do you feel like you're getting a significant increase in value?
Right.
Yes, so it'll still start in the $1,200, $1,500 range for full bespoke. With fittings would be about 15, starting 3 fittings. You really get the drape, and we'll still incorporate multiple house styles. So we won't necessarily stick to one cut. We're able to shape and mold to what the customer desires, whether it's a more Italian soft shoulder or more English rope shoulder like this double-breasted.
I mean, I guess that's one of the virtues of kind of the Hong Kong tradition is that, much like the Parisians, has been certainly very flexible, right? It's not strictly
Rigid.
British.
No
it's
rigid.
not strictly Italian, because it was such a, kind of a trading post. I mean, Hong Kong, that you see it so much. I mean, so much different influence there.
Yeah. It's a commerce-based.
Yeah. And so how do you keep those standards? I mean, it's being done, in Asia, which is what's allowing, a very approachable price point. But is there anything about the way that you guys approach the way that you manage the actual construction of the garment to ensure that things are being done consistently to that really high quality?
I think working directly with the cutters, working with the fabric mills, working with the producers of the canvassing, all the construction details, even down to the thread we use, is all controlled by us. So it's nothing that we're outsourcing the garments. We're actually controlling every piece that goes into it, which I think is important to see in the final garment, how it drapes, how it shapes, and how it molds to the body, especially for always full canvas suits.
Yeah.
Like we control every ingredient that goes in this stuff.
Yeah.
And it makes all.
And you guys have always been really hands-on. I mean, it's it's not. I mean, there's a lot of like made-to-measure people that fax or email their measurements to a factory abroad, that they've never been to or visited. That is definitely not what you guys are doing.
No, we are on the bench with guys who are making it. We are on the bench.
And you've got your own cutters too, right?
We've got
that are yours.
we've got our own cutter. We are on the bench with cutters, with our whips, and we take back garments to see what the faults are. So it's always learning, always transition, even at any age.
And the flexibility of making different garments is, for us, where the fun's at.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, that's kind of what I mean, the jacket you're wearing today is beautiful.
Thank you.
And I noticed that, again, it's got a softer kind of, puff shoulder.
Right, a little fuller sleeve head.
Yeah.
So all these things play, maybe you're feeling different one day, you want to wear a different garment.
Yeah, with a little bit wider lapel. Yeah. I mean, so much is changing about how men are dressing that I feel like in order to be successful in this era, you have to be really flexible.
Absolutely.
Because, it's not just an office culture, like a business formal office culture where everyone can get away with a, dark navy double-breasted suit.
Right.
It's just not like that anymore.
Yeah. From vest to shirt jackets. I mean, it's just total
jacket can be worn a million different ways.
A million different ways.
Custom jeans to custom vests to custom tuxedos to everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you have to be really proud of Divij then to kind of see him, be like, what, I'm kind of going to strike out and do this, kind of blaze my own trail in a certain way.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a relief for me.
Yeah.
So
slow down a little bit.
Slow down. It's a relief. I mean, he's going to do it, and it's great. It's like go and grow.
Yeah.
Just create your own clientele. create your own space and.
Yeah. Will you step back, you think, at all?
Yeah.
In the
You know,
coming years?
I think I will still be at the workshop. I mean, there's tremendous work to be done till he's building up his sales and his new customers. He'll be coming to Hong Kong 5-6 times a year to just learn more, and he'll be taking training in London, and so you'll see him in a.
Yeah. And you have an extensive travel schedule. I mean, again, gosh, how many cities do you guys travel to in America?
About 15, 16 cities.
Yeah. And
Major
And you do that how many times a year? It's what, more than twice or four times?
4 times. Each major city 4 times.
So you've got your frequent flyer miles in
Right.
this, for sure.
Miles. Hotel,
So many you don't even want to use them.
Don't
It's
even
like
use
it'll
them.
make you sick, you
No,
know.
they make it difficult for you to use
Yeah,
it.
that's right. That's true. Yeah.
So
Well, any advice for Divij? I mean, you know, as a man that's, you know, really kind of
I
done so
think-
much.
I think you know, perfection is a journey. I think it's and just be on the journey all the time, day and night.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We discuss, we go over stuff, we take things apart just to see where we went wrong. We beat each other up, say, you know, how could we have done better?
And I think from a father's perspective, the opportunity to pass down your passion to your son,
Yeah.
you know, is a blessing as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think so many of kind of the great kind of dynasties have been father-son duos. I think of the Sahakians at Davidoff of London, you know, the Lobb family, of course. You've got the Rubinaccis. You've got, you know, the Carneras, even the De Lucas in Paris. Really were family-held kind of traditions.
Yeah.
Right. And being around it, you really pick up these things. Like even today, I'm still learning small things I'm picking up from my father.
Yeah, but I would suspect also, though, that there's certain small things that you've picked up also just by virtue of having been around him for so long.
Being around him,
That-
being around clients, being hands-on, these things have really progressed my career and where I've come from and how far I've come.
Yeah.
So it's been, and still makes every day intriguing for me.
Yeah.
in this-
So what
this field.
inspiration do you take from your father? I mean,
The way he dresses, number one.
yeah.
I think I look to him. I still ask him, will this tie go? Will this shirt go? That pairing, the way his detailing for how a garment fits, I think is also, you know, extremely rubbed off on the way I look at customers too.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll always be there to support him as a father, and I wish him
Yeah.
well. You know, he'll do very well.
Yeah.
And I know he's ready to launch his own.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It's been a joyful ride for me, and I've enjoyed every minute and road trip that I've spent with my father. I think I've picked up so many key ideas and learning techniques, tailoring techniques, and fitting multiple people has really prepared me for this journey.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, well, Divij, you know, best of luck.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
And we look forward to kind of seeing you, you know, kind of along this journey. And Joe,
Hey,
you know,
thank you for
thanks
your
for
support.
coming in.
Always.
Of
It's
course,
been
I mean, you
terrific.
guys are such dear friends. I mean, it's you know,
it's great.
always a pleasure to kind of be around and amongst the company of those we enjoy.
Awesome.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, cheers.
Thank you.